What's up, YouTube? It's Kenny again. Real talk. Big moves today, guys. Alright? Some of you ain't gonna like to hear it. Alright, but I'm gonna tell you what I did. And I'm gonna tell you why. And I'm gonna talk about my thoughts on where we're at right now with the stock market, okay? Before we get started, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a truck driver driving across the country researching and trading stocks, and I will not be held responsible for any moves you make in the stock market. Not ever. I am not your mama. Do your own research. Definitely do not do what I just did today unless you think that it's the right thing to do, okay? Do your own fucking research. I sold a bunch of stocks today, okay? Roth IRA, I sold everything except OEG and PayPal. Cash account, I sold everything except Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then I bought 4 shares of PayPal. Alright, really liking this big huge dip on PayPal, as you can tell. I know, sounds kind of crazy. Sounds like I'm panic selling, alright? And, you know, depending on what happens moving forward, maybe I did panic sell, alright? But here's the deal. That CPI data that came out today, the inflation numbers that came out today, I don't like it. And the market did not like it. And there are some other things that I don't like as well, all right? Now, a few days ago, whenever it was, we saw just Joe Biden just mentioning that he was going to interview somebody else for the Fed chair position. Market tanked on that, all right? And then, of course, today, it tanked big time on the CPI data, all right? And we ain't through all that. I mean, you know, in my opinion, like, you know, this CPI, this inflation data that we got today was through the roof inflation, all right? And, you know, while Powell has been saying that the inflation's transitory, and he's been saying that he's not going to raise interest rates. He's going to give everybody plenty of warning before he does stuff. All right? That's Powell. But with the inflation numbers, and then after all this, after I sold all this stuff, Biden made some statement about how this inflation is going to become right now a huge priority for him. Okay? How do you deal with inflation? You raise interest rates. Okay? What happens when they start talking about raising interest rates? The stock market fucking tanks, alright? Where is the stock market right now? I mean, sure, some of these smaller stocks that we watch have been down, but the markets overall are way up. All-time high after all-time high in the S&P 500. You know, the markets are primed for a potential huge pullback, correction, crash, whatever you want to call it, okay? And we're in this territory right now where, because Powell is taking his time and he's not even started tapering yet, and he's talking about not raising interest rates for another year, and then these numbers come out, these surprise numbers that are like, oh my God, some of these annualized, if you annualize some of the numbers on inflation, you're talking about 20 and 30% yearly inflation rates on these in these sectors. And, you know, as much as, you know, I've said that I thought it was going to be temporary and transitory, it's not turning out to look that way. And the thing about it is that these numbers that we see are what's happening on a month-to-month basis. So even if inflation, like a couple months down the road, the inflation slows down, we still had all this fucking inflation, all right? The prices actually have to come down. In other words, have to experience deflation. And I don't really see that happening soon-ish. You know what I mean? I see these numbers going up and up and up, and prices going up and up and up on housing and cars and food and just basically everything in the one today went up, you know, and the market does not like that shit. And what's going to happen here, in my opinion, okay, what I think could happen is that because the Fed is not getting this under control, Biden is going to be more likely to nominate somebody else other than Powell to come in and take care of this inflation problem that we've got on our hands. And the market is not going to like him changing. The more talk we get about somebody besides Powell being nominated and getting somebody else in there, the market is not going to like that shit, all right? With Powell, people know what to expect from that dude. He's you know, said he's going to give everybody plenty of warning. He's been real clear on what he's going to do, so people have an idea of what to expect from that guy. But this new person that's getting nominated, potentially, people don't really know what to expect from her. And that's going to cause a lot of uncertainty. And what happens when we get uncertainty is the stock market fucking crashes, all right? And, you know, sure, she could come in there and have the same strategy. Or she could come in there day one talking about, we got to get these interest rates moving. We got to get this taper moving faster. We got to make this stuff happen faster to control this inflation, which that's how you control inflation, okay? You raise interest rates. So, guys, I just, like, I'm uncomfortable with what's going on in the markets right now. So that's why I made these moves, all right? I'm sitting about 50% of cash in the cash account and the Roth IRA. I'm about 50% in cash right now, all right? And I'm going to hold on to it and see what happens. I think that PayPal is really low right now. I think even if it drops more, I think it will recover back up to a level that'll make me money, because it's just dropped so much. And OEG, like, I really still believe that it's going to go on a big run sometime. And so, and, you know, I'm down pretty significantly in that stock because I have such a huge position. So I'm holding on to that one. Bitcoin and Ethereum are something that I'm looking at with some of this cash, because what did they do today when everybody's freaking out about inflation? They went way up. Bitcoin hit an all-time high again, 69,000. You know what I mean? Like, Bitcoin seems to be the new hedge against inflation. Gold is not moving the way we would think that gold would move in a time like this, but Bitcoin is. It's almost like people have started using Bitcoin as a hedge instead of gold. So, I don't know. If I catch any kind of a significant dip in Bitcoin and Ethereum, I'm going to take advantage of that and buy some more, because I have very small amounts. Also, if that happens, I'll be looking back at GBTC and ETHE or whatever they are, the Grayscale, Bitcoin and Ethereum trusts. I know it sounds reactionary, market crash and whatever, but like, guys, I just really do not like the state of things, and I don't like the uncertainty of what could happen over the next month. And so I really just need to hang out in some cash, you know, look for some major opportunities like what I think is happening with PayPal right now, and only buy into things that I think are huge opportunities that I can pass up, and just hang out and wait until we get past this Fed nomination and see what's going to happen with that and what the market does, and rethink my strategy. Maybe go back to some swing trading. Maybe, you know, go back to some basics, back to some brass tacks, go back to, you know, what was being successful for me a year and a half ago, you know, when I started. I don't know. I'm rethinking safer stocks to carry me through all this inflation bullshit. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do yet, but I will let you know when I figure it out. Hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Don't hate me for selling my stocks. Love you guys. See you on the next one.